Well, with all the political drama in the United States, the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, has gone silent, quietly disappearing, not talking to the media, unless, of course, being ambushed. Where has the Prime Minister been? He's been gone for like nearly a week, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police suddenly released a 6-week-old press release about an assassination attempt on Trudeau's life. What the hell is going on in Canada with Justin Trudeau? David Krayden is an independent journalist, a Canadian journalist. He writes at humanevents.com. He has his own YouTube channel called Krayden's Right, and we thought this would be the perfect story to ask David about. David, welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
There's been so much happening, of course, in the United States, and I've been covering that as well. I don't think Redacted has ever covered anything quite as well as you're doing this. Right? This is fantastic coverage you're giving to this attempted assassination and the aftermath. But it does affect Canada. I mean, everything that happens in the United States affects Canada. And of course, Justin Trudeau, he's been in hiding, and he has not been talking to the media ever since he lost this very vital by-election in Toronto, St. Paul's. And this happened at around the same time, almost the same day, as Joe Biden went through the presidential debate, that catastrophe that suddenly turned the tables. And suddenly we had liberal media saying, this guy can't do it, there's a problem here. At the same time, Justin Trudeau loses a seat in Toronto that would be the equivalent of the Democrats losing a seat in Brooklyn, losing a congressional district in Brooklyn. This is so pro-liberal, this seat. It is such a safe seat. Trudeau thought he was going to walk away with this, as he has in the last 5 elections. It's been that safe. And he lost the seat. Instantly, Trudeau tries to deflect the attention, and he has been asked, the Liberal MPs have been demanding a caucus meeting to discuss the future of the party, the future of his leadership. Trudeau refuses to do that. Instead, he announced he was going on vacation. He didn't say where he was going. However, those of us who know Trudeau guessed he was going to Pacific Rim National Park, which is in Tofino on Vancouver Island in British Columbia. Sure enough, that's where he is. And one journalist who I know not really well, but we have talked on a number of occasions. He's well known for getting thrown out of Trudeau's press conferences because he never got the parliamentary accreditation to attend, but he always attempted to go. And Kian Bext is his name, and he's an independent journalist. He ambushed Trudeau on the beach in Tofino. And it's just fascinating. Initially, Trudeau tried to push him away, threatened to call security, but somehow he had a change of heart about this and agreed to do this 10-minute interview on the beach. Now, at the same time this is happening, this is how this gets really, really confusing. The RCMP announced that 2 people, one guy from Calgary named Mason John Baker, a second person from Edmonton, Alberta, Gary Belzovic, have been charged and arrested for, now I'm going to say exactly what uttering threats against a person contrary to Section 264 of the Criminal Code. Now that generally is interpreted as threatening to kill. And so these are 2 people who on social media, the first guy from Calgary goes on X and announces that he is threatening to kill Trudeau. The second guy, Belzovic from Edmonton, goes on YouTube and announces he's going after not only Trudeau, but the finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, and the new Democratic leader, who is, of course, propping up Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh. So what's mysterious about this, though, is that these people were arrested in early June. The news release goes out July 22nd, so that's like Monday night. And everybody's saying, why did it take the RCMP for 5 or 6 weeks to announce this? And why is this suddenly an issue?
Why would it take, wouldn't we know about this instantly? Why was this swept under the rug? And why the timing of the release on July 22nd into the July 23rd?
Well, that's what I would like an answer to, and I have made a query in that, in that direction. I'm not expecting to get an immediate response, but the problem here, of course, is that Justin Trudeau is a master of distraction and deflection. So we're wondering now, is he trying to suggest that just like Donald Trump, his life is in danger, and there are potential assassins out there after him. And of course, what this really comes down to, no matter if it affects Justin Trudeau's leadership or not, it plays into Justin Trudeau's extreme desire to silence social media and to suggest that there's so much hate speech on social media that there are potential assassins everywhere, and there are people plotting to kill him on social media. And this is another reason why Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party and the government have to silence people on social media, especially independent journalists.
Oh,
It's another
right.
cause for censorship, because they're dangerous people on the internet plotting his destruction and death, and these people should be silenced. And everybody who even has a critical view of Justin Trudeau could potentially turn in the wrong direction, and therefore we have to be always vigilant to shut down free speech on the internet. I can see that where this is going, of course, because as we've discussed in the past, the Online Harms Act, which is still a clear and present danger in Canada of passing, Trudeau's internet censorship bill. This is all he's obsessed with. And I really believe that this really cooked up scenario here of two people on the internet, and we don't even know exactly what they said. The RCMP have not released it. The YouTube has taken down this guy's profile. X has taken down this guy's profile. There's no way to say exactly what they said about Trudeau. There's no way to determine how threatening their words were. We have to take the RCMP's word for it that this was a potential assassination. This was a threat on Trudeau's life. But I have not seen, and nobody else has in the media here in Canada, has seen exactly what these two people said. And as I researched this story yesterday morning, discovered that these guys are not the first. There was a guy in Montreal in January who also had a threat against Trudeau's life, and there have been numerous others in the past 9 years now of people threatening Justin Trudeau. So it's not like this is somehow unusual. And why this has been made a huge news story is, of course, I think something Justin Trudeau would like to see, because it's a distraction. And it takes people's minds off the real issue here, which is Trudeau's malignant leadership. And even Liberal MPs are coming to that conclusion, just like Democrats in the States came to the conclusion that Biden couldn't win. Well, they don't think Trudeau can win either, not because he's suffering from dementia, but he's suffering from horrible leadership skills and woke policies that no longer have any relevance to Canadians. So I think this is a classic distraction from Justin Trudeau.
I thought perhaps they were going to try to use it to try to bully, bolster. That's the word I'm looking for. Bolster his popularity. In the wake of the assassination attempt, of course, President Trump's popularity soared in the United States. Maybe they saw an opportunity for Justin Trudeau to have a increased popularity, but it also seems like very odd for me that the press has not been given information as to the whereabouts of Prime Minister Trudeau. Like when the President of the United States goes on a trip, the White House press corps is made aware of the trip to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, etc. We know about it. We get his flight plans. We get all of that information. Why is the Trudeau government not letting the press know his whereabouts?
Well, because he's in hiding. Except you really have to not understand too much about Trudeau's habits and his usual itinerary not to guess that this is probably where he went, because he does this every year. He goes out and he spends some time with his kids on the beach in Tofino. Beautiful place. I used to go there every summer when I lived on the West Coast, and that was my guess as well. He said he was going to British Columbia, and I thought, well, that's probably where he's going. And he's always run into some degree of trouble every year he's out there. But you know what? If he was expecting sympathy for this, he's really getting more than that. There are people saying, well, how stupid are these people? If these are potential assassins, would you go on the internet and announce your plans beforehand? If you're just seriously planning to try to kill the Prime Minister of Canada and the Finance Minister and the leader of the NDP, would you go on social media and announce that you're about to do that? And clearly, this is a very poor plan. But if the RCMP and Trudeau security are as bad as the Secret Service are in the States, perhaps this scheme could have worked. And certainly, if the Secret Service were in charge of Trudeau's security, these guys might have been successful, even though they announced their plans beforehand on social media for millions of people to read about. So I really don't think Trudeau's life was ever in any serious danger here. These are the usual kind of crackpot people who write nutty things on the internet and really have no intention of following through with it. But Trudeau is really not getting sympathy from any quarters right now, and his popularity continues to diminish. And the only talk he's getting from his own caucus is that have a caucus meeting before we come back after the summer, because this is serious. Your leadership is serious. The problems that you continue to have for the Liberal Party and the government are serious. We need to talk about this. And the other thing Trudeau's doing to distract people's attention, of course, is to talk about bringing in a new finance minister and getting rid of Chrystia Freeland. It's all Chrystia Freeland's fault. That's the popularity is
right.
due to her mishandling of the issues. So this is a summer of distraction for Justin Trudeau, but a lot of people seriously doubt whether he can continue until the next election, or even if he can continue in the fall session of Parliament.
Well, I sure hope he doesn't. And we're seeing this popular uprising now across Europe, and you're seeing it in the United States as well. That only, of course, is trickling up into Canada, and we hope that Justin Trudeau is on his way out. David Krayden, great to see you, my friend. Great to see you over this summer up there in Canada. Thank you for keeping the Trudeau administration honest up there, as always. Great to see you, David.
Thank you so much, Clayton, and we'll see you soon.